Three, go.
Boys, girls, all my trombaholics, and all of his light and nights out there, welcome back to Otherobert. I, of course, am Joe, accompanied here by...
Robert, not the other, because that's you, Joe.
I'm the other, in the other Robert. And tonight we're discussing The Walking Dead, not tomorrow yet.
Yeah, very late at night, might I add.
But it's not tomorrow yet.
No, it's not.
Rob, what do you think of this episode?
It was like a movie. It was extremely good. I loved seeing all the characters. I loved the interaction with Maggie and Carol. I loved even Abraham's scene. It was intense, and it was one of my favorite episodes of season 6 so far.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Very, very dark episode.
Yes.
I didn't start off that way. I loved the evolution. Starts off with Carol, and it's a nice bright day. Carol's baking cookies, music's all nice, and you know it's not going to last like that for the episode. But things get dark quick, and you see the places it goes to in terms of the tone and what they actually do. And wow, that was quite the evolution of the episode. And this centered around Carol a lot, and I think this was a welcome kind of episode for the season.
I liked it though. I really liked her interactions with Maggie in this episode, because Carol, granted, Sophia's name didn't get brought up, but you could tell Carol was thinking about her in this episode when she was talking about being a mother, and then when she was sort of, I guess, reflecting with Maggie about being a mother. I really enjoyed that scene. Like in the beginning, it was kind of softer than in that really intensive ending scene with her too. It was really great. Carol episodes are always really good.
Yes, definitely. And it just Carol again, just the evolution of what happened in the episode. She's with Tobin in the beginning, and it looks like Carol and Daryl will not be happening.
Nope.
It's now Carol and Tobin. And he says you're just like a mom to everyone, and then you see her look out for Maggie as if she was, her mom. And it was an interesting episode for Carol, definitely. And Carol's one of the more fleshed out characters that continues to be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a lot of our like recurring cast members for a while, but for those who have survived since, I guess, season 1, it's Rick, Carol, and Daryl and Carl that are still left.
From the beginning, we still have Rick. We have Rick, Carl, Glenn, Carol, Daryl.
And I guess those would be our most developed characters on the show in general.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then next would I give it to Michonne, for developedness.
Abraham. I mean, we have a lot of developed characters. Just we've spent the most time. But I would say Carol had the biggest 360. Not 360,
180. Yeah, I remember we actually discussed this because we were trying to figure out the difference, because the 360 is starting and then going back to where you started.
It would be right back. Yeah, 180. The complete opposite. Yeah,
180 is a total opposite, as you just said, and she's a warrior. We've talked about this several times with her, and
that's because she keeps going.
She doesn't stop.
Always evolving.
What I liked particularly about this episode was how walkers weren't a problem. Like normally they're always a problem. You know what I mean? But now that they're kind of swatting them away like flies, and then they go after people.
Well, the zombies were really the big threat for 6A.
Yep.
So, but that was because of how many there were. There were just, a few here and there, and it's believable, but that at this point they wouldn't be that much of an issue.
Still, there's more zombies than there are people at this rate.
Yeah, but when they're individual, then
Oh yeah, well, that huge herd towards the end of 5A was pretty intense.
Yeah.
But when they were attacking Negan's compound, right?
Right. Yep.
That was great. That was intense. I was glued to the screen watching that scene.
Yeah, that was so suspenseful in so many ways, because you think they can't get away with this, right? So you're trying to think of what's going to happen, what's going to be that moment. And when that moment happened with Abraham and the guy, the fire alarm, my heart dropped.
It was crazy.
Very, very suspenseful episode. Really kept the story going at a very fast pace. That's the thing. Not only was it this episode fast paced, but it feels like this half of the season has been very fast paced.
I think we're on what, episode 14 now, or 13?
This I think was episode 12.
12. We're on 12, so we're on 13 next week.
Yeah.
So we only have about a month and a half left.
4 more episodes.
Oh, yeah, a month. 16 episodes. I thought it was 18 for some reason. I can't wait to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, me too, especially since it feels like so much has happened in really what has been half of the second half. You know, we still have a lot more to go, really.
Yep.
So very, very curious to see where this goes. And Negan, we still have not seen Negan.
Yeah, and he's cast. He's coming, and then I'm assuming he's going to continue into 7.
Yeah, I'm sure at this rate he's not going to be here until the finale because next week those 2 women it looked like.
Yeah, that was because I was just going to say it would make sense to end with him.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see him this episode, but I've been saying since the beginning I think we're going to see him in the finale. I'm still thinking that might be it because I feel like if they didn't show him here, then
the end of the season.
Yeah,
I like the scene with Jesus a lot. That was pretty interesting. His scenes in this episode, and then Abraham's scenes were pretty intense as well.
Absolutely.
So were Glenn's scenes. I think everything was pretty really good. was really good. Score was fantastic as always, or the lack of score at some points was even better. Writing was great, and I am, for someone who thought they would never like The Walking Dead, to love it so much is, I guess I did a 180.
Speaking of 180s, you just spoke about the music. That was another thing really evolved throughout the episode. Like I said earlier, started off bright and happy-go-lucky, and then the music was either kind of darker or just not there at all, and very ominous and silent. So even silence can be the loudest sound. Yep. I mean, so
I think because we don't, obviously real people don't have music playing all the time. It lets us, because we're generally sitting in silence watching this, like feel like we're there to some level.
Yeah.
It's a good way to bring the audience into the show.
Absolutely. And especially when you heard really Rick and his team kill Negan's figures, you felt like you heard it and everything. So it was very kind of brutal in that sense. Brutally silent.
Yeah, I think it was probably one of the most violent episodes, because it was definitely one of the most violent episodes of The Walking Dead, and you're so used to them killing zombies that you don't think it's violent because they're zombies. But then when you watch them kill people, it's so different.
So seamlessly too.
I know. Well, they're trained killers at this rate.
No.
That's pretty much all I have to say about it. I enjoyed this episode a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. The story's really moving at a fast pace, which is funny because with this half of the season, you definitely could have expected after that premiere just for things to be really slow for a while and kind of just building. But no, they're getting right into it right away. Very, very entertaining stuff. I don't know how much longer they can keep that up. They're going
for 4 more episodes. All they got to do it for.
But very fast pace. We haven't really had much of a filler episode yet. I'm guessing not even next week. Because next week is
going to be about rescuing Maggie and Carol.
Yeah, next week looks very intense. So this is just constantly moving. It's constantly exciting, and this has been so far a very, very strong second half of the season.
Yes,
so looking forward to seeing where this goes. For all of you out there, let us know what you thought about this week's episode of The Walking Dead. Subscribe because it takes around just a wee bit much effort to do so. And until next time, I'm Joe. That's Rob, and you've been traumatized and loudnized.
Thanks, all. Bye.